Hello and welcome to the OCLC booth. I am Shannon Steinberg and I'm here to introduce one of my favorite people. This is Danielle Bromelia. She is an OCLC Product Manager for WorldCat.org. So today she is actually going to give a quick sneak peek on the new WorldCat.org that we will have coming very, very soon, which is so excited. So without further ado, please, great welcome for Danielle. Thank you.
Yay! Thanks everybody for coming and stopping by. My name is Danielle Bromelia. I've been at OCLC for 7 years. Before that, I was a children's librarian in Cuyahoga County Public Library System in Ohio. I really love libraries and I'm really excited about WorldCat.org. If you're familiar with WorldCat.org, WorldCat.org, the website, sits on top of the database WorldCat plus a ton of centrally indexed databases. What this means is if you're familiar with WorldCat, we work with libraries who contribute cataloging records into WorldCat, the database. And this is the website that allows anybody, anywhere to search for items that have been cataloged there. This means we are able to capture libraries' holdings worldwide. A lot of people we know don't necessarily come to WorldCat.org and start their search here. But what WorldCat.org enables us to do is capture those users who are searching maybe for a book on Goodreads, or maybe have found a citation on Wikipedia, or maybe have looked on Google for a book. And we're able to say, hey, we know you're looking for a book. We know library holdings. We have relationships with these bigger institutions or organizations. So what we can do is we can link those users from a Goodreads, from a Google search results, from a Wikipedia page, and either pull them into WorldCat and then connect them to the library, or just connect them seamlessly right into the library's holdings, which is really, really neat. What you're seeing right now is the beta site of our new WorldCat.org. This is what we're building. Some of you, if you're a customer with OCLC, might have gotten an email with information on how to access the beta. If you haven't, if you want to check it out, come up after my presentation and let me know, and I can give you the information for how to access and look at this on your own time. But if you're familiar with the old WorldCat.org, it is very, very hard to see on a mobile device. It is not as clean looking as this. It is a lot to deal with. So we're giving WorldCat.org her first new kind of glow up, if you will. And this whole site is powered by a new set of APIs. So if you have anybody who likes to tinker with APIs at your organization and you have the corresponding subscriptions that you're needed to access those APIs, you could build some of these experiences. So what's really cool about the new WorldCat.org is that we're going to be able to look and say, what is your location? So if you don't want to share your location with us, that's totally fine. You can manually input that, but we'll be able to sense that. And this is going to come into play later because also behind the scenes, we have a new search engine that's helping us search for things. On our homepage here, you also see some new ways to surface library content. We'll have the ability to feature different topics per calendar year. So we can say, okay, it's back to school time. Maybe we have some resources that help people learn how to research with WorldCat.org or learn to connect to your library's resources. We can make sure that we're writing topic pages that reflect the content unique to libraries' holdings. So it's really, really exciting. This is scrolling down the page a little bit, and I would do a live demo, but the Wi-Fi here is kind of spotty, so I want to make sure that we're getting to everything without having to wait for pages to load here. So the nice thing about the new WorldCat.org is that we have a whole new way to make lists. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but on the current WorldCat.org, we noticed that a lot of times we saw users coming in and creating personal lists that were highlighting their library's collections. So they were using a personal account to highlight professional things, right? And so we thought to ourselves, you know, it's really nice that WorldCat is this collaborative environment where librarians can come in and collaboratively build a library catalog. Could we do the same thing with lists? So we allow our users now to log in through their OCLC symbol and their account information, and they can create lists on behalf of their organization. So they can build these cool collaborative lists that are always dynamic and always changing. Whereas before, those accounts, those lists were linked to one single user. So if you weren't passing those things on to the next person coming into your library system, essentially that became a static list. We couldn't keep updating it for you. So we allow you to now create these collaborative lists. For this example, we have Caldecott medal winners, and this has been worked on collaboratively by people here at OCLC. We're all part of the WorldCat team. When we log into our accounts, we can all build this list together. It's not just one person. So again, bringing that idea of community and collaborative building into the new WorldCat.org. This is an example. I've done a search for The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. This is a really nice search, and it's going to highlight just a point that I wanted to pull out, is that I inputted my location. This is a screenshot, so I was in Dublin, Ohio when I took this. But what's really nice about this new search engine is that it's going to allow us to bring up results that are close to your location. So if you're telling us where you are, we can say, here's a record for Vanishing Half, but not only is it a record that matches what you searched, it's a record closest to you. So again, helping people find your library that might not even know your library is there. Exciting, exciting things. Because I don't know about you, but I'm a member of 4 different libraries right now. My husband's not too happy about that because I come home with like bags of 50 books a piece from each library, and he's like, you gotta hold yourself back a little bit there. But the nice thing about WorldCat.org is that it allows you to favorite multiple libraries at the same time. So again, a net new feature of the new WorldCat.org that we're really excited about is being able to look at those libraries and say, hey, if you have a favorite library, or if you're on the same campus or at a public library, and we know that IP range in our system, we can say, do they have any electronic holdings? Can we connect these people with your e-resources that might not even know that you have them, right? So we are able to look into, if you have the WorldCat knowledge base, this would be an example of a link to the WorldCat knowledge base up here. And this is just a pretend collection, our OCLC Q22 example. We are able to take that electronic information from our WorldCat knowledge base and surface it on WorldCat.org. We're not going to give it away for free. So if somebody has favorited your library and says, oh, this looks interesting, I'm going to favorite this library, we'll still stop them and say, hey, you might need to access this library through a username and a password. You might need to contact somebody. We'll make sure that they are stopped and asked for their right credentials. But in this way, we're still exposing that you have these holdings, that you have these great collections that are accessible to people worldwide or locally that might not know that you exist. So very, very exciting stuff. Also, with this tray that kind of slides out, again, based on your favorite library or if we know your IP, we're also going to look into your service configuration to say, hey, are there any ILL options available at your library for things? And then if you don't use our WorldCat knowledge base, if you have e-resources with another vendor, because we are vendor neutral, we are going to look and say, hey, do they have an outgoing open URL that connects maybe to EBSCO SFX or ProQuest 360? And then we can hop you over to those e-resources too. So we're trying to be as inclusive as possible to connect the users to your library resources. This is a great example, and I have a little cheat sheet over here because I struggle a little bit with the last name. But we have this WMS institution in Italy, the Biblioteca Cassatense, and they have a great historical digital archive of photos of bridges and important historical artifacts in their region. In this example, they have Content DM, they have added these records into WorldCat, they have thumbnails that refer back to Content DM, and we're able to surface those thumbnail images in a WorldCat.org search. So somebody could come in here, they could search for Ponte Sestio, it's a bridge in the Tiber River region. And because they have added this collection, we can see their thumbnails. We also net new to the WorldCat.org. We can say, hey, we can connect you to this item for free in their digital repository by surfacing this open access or access-free link. So it's a button that will surface on the search results. If they like what they see, they can just connect to it seamlessly. They don't have to get into the record details. They don't have to sort through all of the information on the item details if they don't want to. It's still there for them to explore. We're not going to take away that data for them to explore, but it's going to be a really nice transition for somebody who just wants to link to that image. They don't have to get through all the details to get there. This image, as well, is highlighting a nice new feature that we have. If you are logged in to your account, again, it could be your library account, you're affiliated with your library, or it could be a personal account if you have a personal WorldCat.org account. We're going to say, what are your favorite libraries? We'll take those, if you're familiar, OCLC symbols, and we'll say, hey, let's give you the ability to limit to just those libraries. So you can say, I have 5 favorite libraries in a region around me. You can limit those holdings. And again, it's just the holdings. It's not meant to replace WorldCat Discovery if you're a WorldCat Discovery user. It's just saying at an aggregate level, who near me holds this item? That's all. And it sounds like I'm being flippant here, that's all, but it's a really nice way to make sure that you're searching all the libraries at one time. So you don't have to hop into different library catalogs to see what each individual library holds. So again, being able to filter down to your favorite libraries, being able to link from open access on the search results, all of these are nice new features that are coming with the new WorldCat.org. This is a view of our list search. On the new WorldCat.org, we'll have the ability to go to our list landing page and search through lists that everybody have created that are public. We'll also have private lists if you don't want to share those lists publicly. But if you do have a public list, we'll be able to surface those in searches for all libraries and all people to search on WorldCat.org. We'll be able to search by list title name and list summary. So making sure that you are contributing really descriptive list titles and summaries will help with that list search. And again, a nice new thing I'm going to point out that the library list, if you're curating it through your library account, it will highlight your library name. It won't be affiliated with you, the person. It will be affiliated with your organization. So we will tell the user that it is your library that has curated the list, not you, the individual. So if I'm logged into my account, let's say I created a book club for my French club here, and we want to read a couple different titles this year. This is what it'll look like when I go into my account. I will see my list that I have created either at my organization or myself, my personal account, and then I can also see lists that I have followed. So if I have gone into the list search and I found something that I really liked, I want to make sure that I'm following it in case somebody added a new title. You'll have the ability to follow lists and view those lists within your account very, very easily. You'll also be able to toggle back and forth here between your profile and your favorite libraries, and you can edit your favorite libraries at any time. You don't have to just pick one and stick with it forever. You can change them as much or as little as that you want. This is what the favorite libraries will look like when you come into it. You can select up to 5. And 5 we found is pretty much the max when people come in and they're looking for something. They tend to kind of max out at 5. There's like a certain region around them that they'll go to search. And so right now we're sticking with that 5. And again, it's nice for the search engine too, because the more that you throw at a search engine, the more results that you'll get back. And we really want to direct the user to connect with library resources near them. You can jump into your library page. So if you have a visibility subscription with us, so a cataloging subscription, plus if you have WMS or First Search Discovery subscription, we'll also be able to do a library page that's unique to your organization. We have this on the current WorldCat.org. It is not as pretty as this. And this is a really nice way if somebody wants to come in and look for libraries around them, they can do that at WorldCat.org. And what you get here, which is really nice, and net new to the new WorldCat.org, is that if you're on a mobile device, this screen, again, will resize to that mobile device. If you click on Get Directions, it's going to jump into your default app that gives you directions on your phone. If you click on Reference at ualibrary.org, it's going to jump into your default email that's on your mobile device. Same thing with the phone number. So we're making sure that we're making those integrated experiences to meet users where they are. If you also have an Apply for a Library Card digital link on your library page, and you have shared it with us in the service configuration, we'll be able to surface that as well on your library page. Another cool thing that we have in the current WorldCat.org, but it looks a lot nicer, and again, it will be beautiful on a mobile device, is the New at the Library titles page. So we'll have all library titles. We'll divide it into fiction and nonfiction, but that's not where it ends. Behind the scenes, if you're savvy with APIs, if you'd like to have this experience on your site, you can divide it down into different formats. You can slice it and dice it as much as you want, and you can surface those new titles on your library page as well. And so this is really nice because this will surface the things that you have added up to about 6 months or 500 titles, whichever comes first, because we know some libraries are larger than others. So we'll surface those new titles that are local to your local collections. So very exciting stuff. I did a really fast flyby. If you're interested in seeing this on your own, you can come up and I can show you how to access it. This is fully interactable on your mobile device, on your computer. It's just, again, the Wi-Fi here was a little spotty, so we wanted to make sure we got through all of these things without it cutting out on you guys. So come up, talk to me. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. We're really excited to be here. I'll be here tomorrow at 12:30. If you don't think of anything today, come up tomorrow, ask me. I'll be here on Monday too. So thank you everybody so much for coming for this sneak peek on the new WorldCat.org.